Welcome everybody to a very special video log that I've been wanting to show for the longest time. And I know everybody's got video game collections. Everybody's got a ton of PlayStation games, Wii games, Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, Genesis games, whatever. But I wanted to actually start off this interesting set of video logs with a different type of collection. Strategy guides. I mean, how often do people actually collect strategy guides and keep them in good condition, and even long after they're done playing the game, they still have them in a little small section of their bookshelf, and they're just kind of collecting dust, but they're still kind of just there for, you know, collector's value, and just like, hey, I still have that strategy guide for this game that I played, you know, 15 plus years ago. So if the itch ever strikes to go play that game again, I can go pick it up from the shelf, and I can kind of go back through and see if I can get 100% using the guide. So I just wanted to show off in this particular episode video log all my strategy guides that I've had, and depending on how long this will take, and it'll probably take quite a while because I have a crap ton laid right here next to me on the floor, I could probably have to split this up into two parts. This is going to get pretty long. So let's start with the PC era, you know, personal computer gaming with Microsoft Windows. So we're going to start with some old school strategy guides with Myst, one of my favorite series, puzzle games that is, and actually one of the first ones I've actually played on the actual PC. This was before, you know, Duke Nukem and Shadow Warrior and Final Fantasy and a couple other PC first-person shooters and things like that I have on the game, but Myst was one of the first games I did, and one of the ones that I actually played together with my father, and we actually used this quite a bit. So there's that. And then, of course, you know, follow on to that, we have Riven, this strategy guide. And I didn't use this one too much, except for that stupid fire marble puzzle. That was just ridiculous. You know, I think I mentioned that enough in my play series. But this one was very useful in game. This one I didn't use as much. I actually solved most of the puzzles on my own for Myst 3 Exile, but it's still good to have, just for, you know, completionist's sake in terms of collecting all the strategy guides. And then this one, Myst 4 Revelation. I didn't really get much into this one except for the Age for Sirius and that stupid sound vibration puzzle. If anybody's played the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll make sure I point it out too when I get there in my play series of Myst 4 Revelation. But I would have never figured out the solution if it were not for this book. So everything else could be more or less easily figured out by me, but it was just that one puzzle where even the explanation in this book, it still did not make any sense. I cannot jump the gap of that comprehending part of the puzzle and just solve it on my own. I don't understand the logic behind it. So praise be to have this one for that game. Now, speaking of Duke Nukem, we have the Duke Nukem strategy guide in pristine condition as well. And this one I used a lot, especially for these types of maps. As you can see, I just loved looking at these maps when I was younger and just kind of plotting out my course through each of the levels and finding out all the secrets and stuff. Following on to that, of course, is the Plutonium Pack edition. You know, same basic concept, just plotting out my course through the levels. And if you are a 3D Realms fan like I am, of course you got to have Shadow Warrior. And I will be doing Shadow Warrior later this year. Not this version, mind you. The 2013 reboot. I'll be doing that. And of course that one doesn't have a strategy guide to my knowledge. So, but this was also a very fun game, and I'll probably be doing this several years from now on my channel. This particular Shadow Warrior version. And more likely than not, I'll probably not be using this because I'll be doing no secret run. So what's the point, right? Okay, then we get into some Squaresoft. I always refer to this whenever I play Final Fantasy VII. It's like there's some things in Final Fantasy VII that you look in here and you try and grasp what the game designers were trying to think when they thought, oh, the player would surely get this and be able to know that you have to check behind this little corner box or something and find that hidden item. No, that's a huge leap of faith you're asking of the player. So that's why this guide is here, to find everything this game has to offer, including the just most stupid side quests and hidden items that they just jam into this game. But yes, every time I play the game, I always have this next to me. So this has seen a lot of use. Another one that has seen a lot of use is Final Fantasy VIII Squaresoft. And let's see here, let's see if I can show you some of my notes here. I don't know if you can see very well, but you can see I actually made some circles and everything on the magic and effect on attributes. So I actually went through and found out the best stats for all the magic and what slots you can junction them into to get the most effect. Like, I just went through all the appendices here. I went through all the enemy appendices and circled all the rare drops, the rare draws, things like that. I scoured this book, you know, front to back, to make sure I got everything in this game, because there's so many things in this game that you can just miss and forever lose for all time until you restart the game from the beginning. Moving right along. Fable, the very first one. This has been an invaluable guide. Just like the Final Fantasy VII one, I always have this by my side when I'm playing. Not so much to find 100%, but just to kind of get the out-of-the-way side quests that I may not know, you know, how to start the quest or whatnot, or maybe I can just look through the front and figure out what type of build I want my current character to be. So, those types of things. But out of all the Fable games, I think the first was definitely my favorite, and it's the only one that I have the strategy guide for. Morrowind. I have only ever used this once, because I've only played through Morrowind 100% completely once. And, I mean, just going through this massive tomb, you're in for a long trip through the Morrowind quests. And it's not just covering the main Morrowind, it's actually Tribunal and Blood Moon as well. And it's not exactly as nicely laid out. I mean, look at that. Each of these major headers, which are in bold, right here, if I can point to it, in bold, that's the start of one quest. And it goes down until it gets to the next bold line, and that's the start of another quest. And that's pretty much the organization there is in this entire book. It's not nice and neatly laid out. So if you were trying to find a specific quest and you don't know where you left off the page, it's kind of hard to find it again. So, not exactly the best guide, but it's one of the more comprehensive ones out there. Of course, follow on to that, Oblivion. My own Mysterium Xerxes. And this is definitely one that covers Knights of the Nine. It does not cover Shivering Isles, however. I don't have the Shivering Isles expansion, so I, of course, don't have Shivering Isles expansion to this book. But this is definitely something I've used quite a lot in the past. However, I have not used it as much in my current streaming run-through on Twitch, because I kind of want to just go through the Mages Guild and stuff and just blindly to see what it all has and not have to refer to this and spoil it for myself. So, if I have to and I get stuck, I'll resort to this if none of my viewers on Twitch can tell me what's going on. Now to some of my new guides. The Witcher 2. This guide has been... I don't even know. This guide is kind of redundant in a way because it kind of copies and pastes things between Yorvith and Roach's paths for the most part in terms of things that come together in terms of story quest lines. But for the most part, it's pretty solid in all the data it gives you, including carnal knowledge. If you're interested in that sort of thing. But I will admit I have not actually perused this as deep as I had the previous guides that I just recently showed you. And then, of course, the latest being Distracted by the Sexy, Witcher 3 hardback edition too. Oh gosh, there goes my headset. But this one I have not barely touched at all. I mean, it's nicely laid out. Look at that. You can tell which are the beginning of quests and which are the end of quests. It's nicely laid out. You can easily find what you're looking for, either in the index or just flipping through the pages. You can just easily find what you're looking for. Secondary quests, main quests, just, atlases, where everything is, pinpoint it all for you. It's got it all. And this is definitely a well thought out strategy guide. It's just unfortunate I haven't gone through it and read it from cover to cover. I actually read all my strategy guides cover to cover once I finish beating the game. That way it gives me the knowledge to go back the second time and get 100%. So, there's that. And another cool thing that happens, this came with it. That's right. This is a booklet, a pamphlet of lore for pretty much almost everything you could possibly want to know about the denizens of The Witcher and the Northern Kingdoms. And it's just a nice little read. Some minor spoilers if you haven't played Wild Hunt, but nothing that'll make or break the game for you. So that actually came with the hardback edition of The Witcher 3. So those are all the PC guides that I have right now. I haven't bought any more, and that's pretty much my entire collection there. So, switching gears, we are now moving to the next most recent game system that I've owned, and that is the Nintendo Wii. And I'm actually going to start off on an interesting, weird one. Spiral Bound, Kirby's Epic Yarn. This one actually is very useful. Let me get to an actual page that actually matters. So, oh my goodness. There we go. See, it has the map up here with little numbers, and then on the numbers they tell you what's going on and how to get special items and stuff corresponding to the numbers on the map. Very useful, that. And it's simple, it's small, portable. You don't have to lug it around like that big hardcover book of Witcher. But I like it, and it actually told you everything you needed to know to get 100%. I don't know why I got this. In reality, the only reason you would actually need it is if you're getting 100% completion on stamps or trophies, or just figuring out how to unlock things in the game. But Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I'll admit, I haven't used it very much. I only used it for pretty much adventure mode, and just that's about it. Super Mario Galaxy. If I had to redo it over, I probably would not have bought this. And the reason why is because everything is just so common sense and how to get things. I mean, here's pretty much what it looks like on the inside. It's not the best laid out. It's more text than it is maps. And it's kind of unfortunate because I'd rather have more maps with some call-outs like in the previous Kirby one. That was actually an ingenious bit of design on the page. But this one doesn't seem to be very well laid out. And most of the stuff I pretty much figured out on my own anyway. Only a couple stars that I needed help with, this book was able to help me with. But beyond that, it didn't help me overall. And of course, follow on to that, Super Mario Galaxy 2. And this one's actually a little bit better. This one actually has a lot more maps to deal with. And you can actually view them a lot better. And not only that, it actually brought back the number callouts. So you can go reference the page, find a number callout, and then go to this page and find the number and then read the text of what's going to happen in that particular location. So this is a much better improved guide overall than the previous. And this one, I actually had to... I actually needed to get 100%. Unlike the first game, there are some diabolical hidden stars in this one. And without this guide, I would have not got 100%. Donkey Kong Country Returns. Yes, this is something that I absolutely needed. Absolutely needed. And it's actually one of the best laid out game guides that I've seen in a while. It had, like before, it's got the map and then some number callouts up here. So... And if you want to get 100% on all the levels and get all those, what are those, unlockables at the end? Unlockable pictures and trophies and things like that, this is definitely a must for you.